sometimes you got to take time and do the math and like really sit there and figure it out. Other times, because this coffee is so versatile, you really don't have to sit and do a bunch of crazy geometry, mental gymnastics or anything like that. You can just brew it and it's going to taste delicious. What's up, fellow Drops fans? I am Haley, and I'm back in the Pink Room studio at our storefront at 820 Valencia Street in San Francisco, and I am joined today by the one and only Jen Apodaca of Mother Tongue Coffee Roasters. Thank you for being here, Jen. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and what are we brewing today? What are we dropping today? Can you let us know what's going on?
Absolutely. This coffee is from Peru, and the producer's name is Roxana Rafael. And this coffee is pretty exciting because Roxana basically started, well, she's a third generation farmer, but 4 years ago, she kind of went out on her own with her own farm. And it's a very small farm, but we were able to secure quite a bit of coffee because she's had a lot of success selling the coffee. It's delicious. And she also now is buying coffee from all of her neighbors and getting them in on the specialty game. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
So cool.
So we were able to get quite a bit of this coffee, and it's really great. It's very indicative flavor-wise of the region of Peru that it comes from, which is the Cajamarca region.
That's really cool too, because I mean, just the community orientation in coffee, and like, especially at origin, I can't imagine it's easy to break into the specialty world, right? As worldwide. Absolutely.
I mean, Peru has amazing coffees. It's a giant country. There's several different coffee growing regions in Peru, but a lot of the major challenges for coffee growers is infrastructure, things like roadways. So
yeah, that old thing,
yeah, right?
Roadways.
The actual movement, the physical movement of the coffee from the farm to the port. So, and also too, if there's a lot of farmers out there, they need people to be able to come visit them in order to purchase that coffee. And so if it's a big country and it's difficult to get to these farms, it's difficult for these small farmers to be able to find buyers. So it's really cool that Roxana is able to give more access to these other farmers that are surrounding her so that they can all like sell their coffee to folks like us.
And the brew recipe that we came up with after some morning mental gymnastics for you guys, especially for you guys, we did this. I used 20 grams of coffee in, 200 grams output on water. You're gonna wanna pour it into a cup with about 100 grams of ice. If you're using bigger like ice cubes for all you fancy like bartender big ice cube folks out there, you'd probably do a 12-to-1 ratio as opposed to our 10-to-1 because your ice is gonna melt way slower than smaller chips of ice, right? I ground at 4 1 click, so 4 1/3 on Ode with SSP. You might want to do it 3 1/3 on Ode, standard Ode. It's sort of a medium pushing, medium fine. You can really push a lot out of this coffee, especially pouring over ice, as it takes on even more sweetness. You can definitely grind finer if you want to experiment. As soon as Jen and I tasted it, I mean, it was just orange blossom and like honey, some kind of like, it just reminded me of drinking almost like like an iced tea in that way. Like definitely just like a sweet body, something that I would love to enjoy on a hot afternoon.
Absolutely. Or pour it over ice cream.
Yes. We were talking about that. We're going to try this directly after filming this video. Jen, while I pour this over ice and while we see what happens to these cups as we pour it over ice, can you tell us a little bit more about why this coffee is cool AF? Like what you like. We were talking about how you roast it and what's so cool about roasting this coffee in particular, and how you roast it, kind of.
Absolutely. Well, so I've been roasting for a really long time, and so, one thing that I wanted to do with my own coffee company is make sure that I'm bringing to market coffees that are just easy and fun and delicious to brew. And that actually extends to roasting. So a coffee that is easy and fun to roast is actually also easy and fun to brew. It makes it more versatile. You know, sometimes we don't talk a lot about the sweetness, and sweetness for me is usually things like vanilla and caramel. And so all of these coffees, this coffee in particular has this really lovely sort of brown sugar, like cooked brown sugar sort of sweetness to it. And I think it comes out like whether you brew it hot, whether you pull a shot of espresso,
Oh, I bet it comes out.
Iced coffee.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. And so it has this really sort of big, sweet finish.
Oh my God, this is really, they're turning purple.
They are, they're turning purple.
Well, sweet. And we got cute little straws.
Yes.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for roasting this coffee so deliciously. I bet it would be super, super good to pulled as a shot of espresso and also poured over ice cream.
Yes.
But yeah, we're super, I mean, thank you so much again, Jen, for being here and allowing me to brew you some coffee, brew you the coffee that you roasted and that we're dropping together like this week. I couldn't be more excited to feature this Peru.
Coffee should be fun as well as delicious.
It is delicious. This is still, the honey and the orange blossom still coming out. Oh my God. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jen, for being here. Thank you, fellow fans, fellow coffee lovers everywhere for watching these brew guides. We are super stoked to bring them to you. As always, it's super easy to order from Drops. All you have to do is text us back with the number of bags that you want, 1 to 10 to however many, hopefully not a million. That's a lot of bags, but again, we're not here to judge. Text us back, don't text us back and we won't send you coffee. And we will be here next week again with another brew guide for you. Thanks again, Jen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
See you guys.
Bye.